Alright, so welcome back to the 2 Years to Go Pro vlog. Updating you now the day before Gibson. So just giving a rundown of what's happened over the first part of the year, what plans are going forward. So first thing, when I last left off, I was recovering from a bone bruise that happened. So went through all that physio process. Not much physio, more just getting an update that's getting all go ahead. After the rest, so decided it was a bone bruise. It wouldn't get worse by running, and by that time already I started running somewhat as well. So it's all good, and not feeling any effects from it overall. So that part is thankfully over, and now I have to schedule for the semester. Had that in place, and I was deciding how I was going to work with it going forward for my last year of training. So what happened is that my usual for now has a lot of open time, but this time isn't really in the mornings where you have normal track training, so it was more difficult to implement it that way. And in some ways, kind of a blessing in disguise, because from my last year, I really want to just do whatever I can to get it for my last year of competition. So I'm really just involved. Just doing whatever else, and the new coach that came in, like I said, he's still has a lot of gym work and a lot of sprint work, and he's still talking some about supplements, which I'm not getting into at all. So I actually went online to try to figure out, like, for our actual distance program of 5,000 meters and such, how important really is your gym work and your core work to getting that time improvement. And the consensus overall is that basically it's not really that important. Main thing is always going to be the mileage. And of course the program that he has there doesn't have quite enough mileage to get to that level. So yes, actually for my last year, I just went and bought an online trading program online, looked up for a sub 15 5,000 meter program, found one, paid price for it just for my last year, and tried to implement it. So it's around 50-60 miles per week, ideally, and implementing that myself. Not always going to get that time period just because of schoolwork and such, but what I do is try to get at least 40 to 45 in, and the other time I can fill with things like swimming. So I'm doing some more swimming at the pool, and that's just like 500 to 800 meters straight swimming, so I build lung capacity, and then have to implement 2 times a week, being Monday and the Friday. I go down to the track, so I have the track work, whether it's 400s or 200s or whatever. And more recently had some 1500s in there, and then afterwards I do an extra on top of that just to get the mileage all the way up. And then in addition to those two, so the swimming and running, also incorporating 2 days I'm doing core work, so that's normal abs and related core muscles, and then 1 week of lower gym, so that's all the leg work, and then 1 week of 1 day of lower gym, and then 1 day of upper body work, so that's your arms, your back, your shoulders, just for hopefully stability when I'm running. So I've kept mostly to that for 5 weeks or so at this point, so part of it is dependent on how much work I have to do at the moment, but I'm pretty consistent in my estimation at around 40 to 45 kilometers, sometimes up into 50-55 range, and then having the extra work on top of it just to balance out anything I might be missing from not following the program strictly. Alright, so recently there is not much road races that there have been in previous years. I guess everything is recovering from COVID. So I couldn't do the Race of Hope in January because of the bone bruise. So next one was just last week Sunday, the Sigma Run. Based on my training up to that point, I could feel that I'm much better than I normally would have been in terms of the strength and endurance, being that I could run for quite a long time. I could do like 600 repeats, not feel as tired. I could still feel like I'm at a good speed strength. I'm doing 5-6 rounds, but I'm not too sure about the speed. I have enough time to fix that, of course, because it's only week 5, and then this is for the rest of the year I'm going to do. So Overall, I was just sort of to see where I'm at. Sigma is always packed up, so of course I couldn't bother go through all the crowd to get a start. So actually, when the race started, I was around 30 seconds just waiting through the crowd, and then have to run through the crowd that's packed up at the start as well. And then from that point, I knew that two of the main people that are running, being Kamara Leslie and Garfield Gordon, I knew the upper head because they had actually gone through the crowd past me, and I couldn't bother to follow them or got blocked up as well, so couldn't bother with all the fighting for that. So most of them were just actually seeing how far they were down the road. I couldn't see them, so I just ran as best I could, and where I came, I ended up. So I actually came third in that race. Current time of 18:20 for the 5.5k, which equates to around 16:40 for the 5k. So that's pretty decent, especially because I wasn't pacing myself, but I was just running kind of blind. So I'm pretty happy with that race. Won't have another road race for quite a while actually. It's going to be a bit before I have another road race, which will be the EU 5k. Consider doing the 10k, but I'm just giving time period. I think 5k is best thing at this point. I'm still deciding though, but I'll update you when it comes to that. And then, so now into this week, and tomorrow I said I have Gibson. So I actually have 1500 to do, so it was a last minute decision that came from the coach that I'll be able to do that based on my output in the 1600 meter repeats. So I don't have the pacing in mind for 1500 at this point. So what I will be doing, I'll just be running to see how far I keep up the pace, whether I can stay with a fun pack or whatever the case may be. So it's more just a test to see where I'm at. I won't be doing much 1500s, I assume, because there's not much to look forward to in that. But yeah, kind of running to see where I'm at in terms of that distance in terms of overall fitness. Alright, and looking forward to the future. So it's week 5 now, and then going into week 6 next week. That's the end of the first part of the semester. After that, the schedule opens up quite a bit more actually, so I would have more time to go down to the track if I desired. But at this point, I believe for my last year, I'll just put my entire focus into doing that online program just for the last year as something new, something different. And then see what happens with the recruitment from there. Another thing to note is that actually the triathlon, that's the Sunset Triathlon, is actually the day after the Intercollegiate Championships. So for that triathlon, I'm just going to do it for fun, just to put a kind of cooler chapter on the endurance competition aspect of my life, because after this year I won't be really doing endurance competition, but probably just do it for fun or to keep fit or whatever, and then focus on other aspects of athleticism. So just close that chapter, I'll just be for fun, because of course I'm not buying a new bicycle. I'm not going to prove someone else to me that I'll be looking to compete in triathlon, just in that race is fun. I think I'll have more enough stamina to make it. And after that, it's just continue the training up until the end of the 8-week program, which is for Tagat. Actually, I told you about that about a 9, and then try to where I'm at the end of that 12 weeks, I will determine if I continue our program or I try to implement more speed for the last section of my training. That's where I'm at right now, where my plans are going forward. In terms of schoolwork, so ending up in my last semester of undergrad, taking on a lot of different things, just staying on my horizons, get so many things. So postgrad may not always go as I expect, so any connections I can build is important, and have a lot of that being done. So it's taking a lot of time. Schoolwork is kind of crunching down on me, but like I said, after next week the schedule clears up a lot. And I've been applying, of course, to the postgrad programs. I'm getting good reception so far, but everything depends on the funding, of course. So we see what happens there from our final year of training and then going forward. So my next update here will be sometime after Gibson, and when I'm getting into like the EU 5K and Intercal Championships, and where I'm going from there.